The world is so desperate these days that even a 23 years old child who's supposed to be under his or her parents, who's supposed to be learn work or going to school, will be thinking of how to use somebody for money ritual, a form of desperation. The story you are about to see is the story of 23 years old boy carry a auntie picking, go one use and do money ritual, get to where the native doctor is. As God should have it, God used that same native doctor and he called the police. Okay. Hear him out what he's going to say. In fact, I am so dumbfounded that even when others are struggling to earn a living, you will still be on that person. You are thinking of that devilish act. And God said that small boy. Get them out.
Báàgì ẹ̀dá ẹgbẹ́ báàgì ẹ̀fọ́.
Kí lorúkọ ẹ? Solomon Fábí Solomon. Ọmọ ọdún mélòó ni ẹ?
23 years old, sir.
Máa wojú bí?
23 years old, sir.
23 years.
Yes, sir.
Ọmọ ìlú wo ni ẹ?
Kwara State, sir.
Kwara, níbo ní Kwara?
Ayédùn.
Ayédùn. Ó ti tọ́dún mélòó tó ti dé Èkìtì bí Adó Èkìtì?
Ibi lọ bí mi sí ibi
náà bí ẹ sí. Ìyá àti bàbá ẹ̀ ń kọ́?
Wọ́n máa ń lé. Wọ́n máa ń lé wẹ́rẹ́.
Kí ló wá ṣe bí?
Mo wá láàárọ̀, mo ṣe ń gbọ́ voices inú máa ń yìí mi. Mo wá láàárọ̀.
Question mi tí bá ti di ẹ yes or no before you explain.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ mo wá láàárọ̀.
Kí ló wá ṣe bí?
Wọ́n ní mo fẹ́ ṣe àjò owó, wọ́n lẹ́nu tí wá rí mọ̀, mo lẹ̀ ní mo lágbóró. So wọ́n á ní mo lè mú wá, wọ́n ní ṣé mo lè mú wá, mo ní mo lè mú wá.
Tó wá fẹ́ fi ṣe kí ni?
Àjò owó.
Ọ̀fẹ́ àfi ṣe àjò owó.
Wọ́n ní kò ní kú.
Wọ́n ní kò ní kú.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ.
Iná ló máa ṣe.
Wọ́n ló máa sí.
Ó kàn máa sí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ èmi náà.
Tó bá ti ń síkì yẹn kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ìwọ?
Wọ́n ní màmá káṣà tó ń bọ̀ dẹ̀ promise pé máa rán lọ sí máa ṣe everything fún. Kò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ sà.
Ọmọ tó fẹ́ wá lò yìí. Ọmọ tó fẹ́ wá lò yìí. Kí lorúkọ ẹ̀?
Jọmilójú.
Jọmilójú. Òun ló fẹ́ wá lò. Kí ló fẹ́ wá lò fún?
Àjòwò lọ́dún.
Àjòwò ló fẹ́ wá lò fún.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ sà.
Báwo ló ṣe jẹ́ sí ẹ?
Ọmọ àti mi gbọ̀rọ̀gbọ̀rọ̀.
Ọmọ àti ẹ.
Àjọ ń tọ́jú ẹ̀.
Ó ti tọ́mọ ọdún mélòó?
Bí ọdún mẹ́fà sí ọdún méje.
Ọdún méje.
Bẹ́ẹ̀.
Nǹkan tó wá ṣe ìbáyẹnsì ṣé ó dáa ṣé ó bójú mu?
Kì í ṣe nǹkan gidi sà. Mi ò
ṣe nǹkan gidi.
Mo máa tọ́jú ẹ̀, mo fẹ́ rán lọ sí fún ẹsẹ̀ rí tó.
Lẹ́yìn tó bá ti lò tán tó fi ṣògùn owó tán, àwa máa rán lọ sí.
Wọ́n ní kò ní kú nǹkan tó sọ fún mi nìyẹn sà.
Gbà ó sì wà fẹ́ pé kò ní kú. Kí ló orúkọ ẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí?
Solomon sà.
Solomon.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ sà.
Ìjẹ́ wọ́n mọ̀ pé ẹni tí o.
Now, according to Ram, he won't use and do money ritual so that when he get money, at the end of the day, he go train the boy and all that, forgetting that some persons they will use for money ritual and they go buy journal. Desperation. Now, if it is by money ritual, are you thinking that those billionaires in the world today are rituals they do? When others are using their brain, they are trying to digitalize everything about themselves to earn money the way it's supposed to be. Why some persons do not believe in those things? Though it might also work for some persons, but no action will justify you taking another person's life just to earn a living. And at this point, I think there is need for every state government to implement a law where some of these native doctors are being registered, monitored. Because when you talk about money rituals, not be you and I who don't know how to convert an idea. And some of these native doctors, at first, prophets, prophetess, all those spiritual homes, they should set up a commission towards that effect, commissioner of native doctor or spiritual affair, so that they can have those things monitored, if possible registered and all that, because some of those shrines are where some of these evils are being perpetrated. But the situation whereby no native doctor is doing any money ritual for anybody, you know, if you just buy somebody, put the head, carry the blood, where you want to carry and go, how you want to do it, you don't know how to do it. So a situation whereby they are the one doing it, I believe The same law that is against anybody who take somebody life should also go against that same spiritual person who do it for them. You can't just catch somebody with human parts where you take and go and somebody won't go give. Who you won't go give, get somebody who won't go give. And at the end of the day, now same that native doctor, alphas, prophetic, spiritualist, whatever you want to call it, now their place, the thing will eventually ended up. But a situation whereby you tackle this issue from where the native doctor is or the spiritualist is, I see no reason why somebody will buy somebody for money ritual, because nobody will be there to take it up from you. So I'm suggesting that there's need and urgent attention. Government have to look at it, because the rate at which some of these things are happening is on the high side. Now the one we make out to social media now we see so many of these things are happening. You will see maybe not just normal armed robbery and kidnapping and all that. Some of them go out there, they will take on. At the end of the day, after I don't collect money, they will stick by the person. When you go there, you discover some of the past not there again. What did they use and do? Most of those money. So if they must curb it, there's need to set up a body to regulate some of those things, to check the excesses, and put a law to that effect that if they point you, say now you do the money ritual for her and they catch you, the native doctor has to go in for it as well. Anyway, we thank God that God used that same native doctor to call the police. Otherwise, it would have been another long forgotten issue. A situation whereby even the same 23 years old boy will still help them. They cry, they follow them, they look for the boy, not knowing that na him do am. Because mere looking at him alone, you will discover that maybe that boy can't go hurt a fly, not knowing that waiting they think for heart, big person. Anyway, una who still live with our children in the name of relative and all that, you guys have to wise up. It doesn't take anything from you. Have a camera that monitor the excesses in your house when you are not there. Because if supposing anything like this happened that day, probably the boy will say nothing. Maybe he goes school, never come back. He go play with his friends, not come back and all that. Not doing that, and he take the boy come off for house. I pray that God grant us the wisdom to know what to do at the right time. Once again, share, follow the page. Thank you.